No, I'm just kidding. We need...
Yep.
When we were all young, we had dreams. I assume we all were sitting in kindergarten and discussing whether or not we're going to become police, a fireman, and a helicopter pilot, sports star, sing star, or why not pet the giraffe. At this age, I was dreaming about becoming an athletic star of some kind. At age 12, I decided to commit to play competitive golf instead of just doing it as a hobby. So I was starting to dreaming about one day stand at Augusta Nationals here in Georgia, winning the under-tournament US Masters. According to research I made based on these 5 guys that I've been interviewing, PR is very essential in order to achieve success as a professional athlete. You need sponsor, you need financial support in order to make this possible. So this is why we're sitting here today at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna present how to make a PR campaign. The brand I created is called Ericsson's from Golf, and it's my senior project. The main points we're going to cover today are the 5 professionals' background, the interview, the result from the interview, the PR campaign, and future aspirational. First of all, I'm going to talk about the 5 interviewers. Anton Karlsson is today on European tour. He's 4 years older than me. Became pro in 2013. Linus Mans, another Swede, played on the Swedish golf tour, went to Young Harris College for 4 years. Felix Paulson went at Los Angeles Tech University for 1 year, dropped off college, and started to play competitive golf in Sweden. Isaiah Lodges actually lives here in Royston, that I got to know this semester. He's from Pennsylvania, USA, and played today on a tour in Atlanta called GE Tour Golf. He went at Liberty University. And finally, Victor Ternström went at Florida University and is a player on the Swedish golf tour. So all these guys I looked up to a lot. I know them from a long time, many of them. And what I want to get out from these interviews was basically these 4 things. What did they do to promote themselves? How much time did it take? What went well? What didn't go as well? As you can see on the board here, I quoted what I learned from these interviews. And basically, 2 of these guys feel they had a lack of social media use. But in general, all of these guys use social media somehow. Some use the social media, the modern social media, which for me is Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, while Isaiah especially only uses email which is more of a old school way to public relation, according to myself. He's more specific in his targeting, while the other guys is more of have a wide audience. What I learned from this interview, based on looking at their Instagram stories, look at their social media, Anton Karlsson playing on the European tour, he put up this result from his tournament a lot. He put up pictures of him winning, which is obviously a great PR. He put up picture of his equipment, his sponsors, and he also put tags on them in the post, which is a way for him to give back to the people that supports him. Linus is not as active on social media, but he do put up pictures on when he's using the equipment. So he's sponsored by the people on his club, which provides him material, and he makes sure to highlight them in his posts. Felix is the same. As you can see, he put tags on his sponsor again, and he's really good at portraying himself, I think. Looks very professional. On the top right, you see a Twitter post as well. Isaiah Lodges, he is collaborating with a shirt brand called Use Labs, and they basically he emailed them, asked them, what do I need to do in order to get you as a sponsor? They say, we want you to achieve this result. So that was his way to reach out to the audience. He contacted them, and by his result, he achieved this sponsor. Victor is a very good at PR as well. Can you pull up that internet? So he's got his good-looking car with all his sponsors, and on his website, He's highlighting his sponsors, and he's only one of the 5 that actually is using the web page. So even though this is in Swedish, you can see like he collects all the sponsors here together, and if you scroll down, you have all the logos of the sponsors. And on this website, you can find all the information you want to know in order to get to know him better. So what I learned from this, I knew already that they're using social media, so therefore I started in the middle of January to do my own. But I also want to interpret in my own way, and my strength is verbal and communicating, so therefore I want to make sure I talk in all my videos. So I used all of these 5 social media with the hashtag #ErikssonFromGolf. Look what I did. So now it's time for the videos. I was very nervous and very uncomfortable with all the videos I made, and I probably have never felt stupider than when I made my first post in the middle of January. I went out to Hartwell Kachicha Golf Club, retook it about 30 times. I feel unhappy with it, and therefore I did it again, and this is the result. Hey, this is recorded from Kachicha Golf Club here in Hartwell, Georgia. Subscribe me under the name ErikssonFromGolf, and follow me on my last semester here in the US as a college golfer. Now I'm gonna flop this over the camera. Yeah, and I'm not that proud of it, but that was like... that was my very first video, and I want to make sure it was alright. But you can take the next one. But by the time I got the basics for me in the bunker is to have a very wide stance and sit down a lot. So not leaning too much over the ball, be kind of upright. I grip the club with open club face and have this angle on the wrist, which creates this on the club shaft. It creates a line. The club face, the belt, and the nose. And I try to keep this straight line all the time. Take the next one. The basic. So today me and Logan put. Turn that down for a second. Ready? Yeah. Me and I hold with almost 7 iron. It's pouring rain, so this sucks. So you can see, like, I try to show an everyday day on practice. It's not beautiful, but this is what we're doing. We're actually practicing this horrible weather.
Oh, what a shot. Right at the heart of the green. Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And the last one. So this one, this last one I made about 2 weeks ago. The line on the ball. I make the line by put this on it. I use the marker. I either have a black or a red one. Create this little line, which helps a lot. Other tools I'm using is this putter mirror that I'm using for warming up. I have this putt gate where I place the gate between the hole and the ball, so I'm gonna putt it through it. I also have this thing, a line that is like up in the air, like this, which helps to see where you're aiming with the putter. Other aids is these hats that I've just seen me use for shipping, and these ropes. And I also have 2 larger sticks and 2 smaller, and I play, I always use the line on the ball. So you see, like, I try to provide an example of how I practice, but also like example, you know, practice tips. And I got, as I said, I got more comfortable doing this. And on Facebook, I did kind of the similar thing. For every tournament we played, I put up a post the day before the tournament with a link to the live scoring, and I received like a good bit of likes, which was fun. So I already had a Facebook account with 800 followers, so I felt I can use this platform to just provide all these photos instead of creating a new Facebook account. And then also on Snapchat, could you help me again, please?
Yes.
Snapchat, I try to do more random stuff, be more fun. So you can go here, click on the first one. It's very it's nothing serious really. This is showing. This is also an important part of the PR to just show what you're doing every day.
Yes.
You can.
Nice goal.
Easy.
Yeah. What a stinger.
My teammate Elizabeth, she couldn't figure out how to make the circle round. Because we're using this rope to create the ring around the hole.
That's a big ring.
Yeah, she did a fundamental job there. So I also created a LinkedIn account, which is only for professional use, which is also important aspect of PR, and also a YouTube channel. Me and Logan doing workout and hitting a drive. It's very simple videos. There is also one platform that is important to use. So what we ask here now is, did I actually successfully reaching my target audience? My target audience from the beginning was local people in my hometown, but since this is an American school, I need to do it in English, obviously. So, I mean, everything is in English, but my audience was these people, and in the way I could measure this was through the Instagram and through the LinkedIn account, because I started in January with 0 followers, and today I got 201 followers. So that's one measurement I can recognize. Also, LinkedIn, I got 48 followers. But also, just in general, seeing all this support from people, especially from home, on social media. Like having people comment on your Instagram and Snapchat stories, like people appreciate and think it's fun to follow, and also like comments on Facebook. So that's kind of the measurement, and so that which proved that this actually worked. My name got out there and people know more about me. For the future aspiration, I've created a resume that I'm gonna provide for all the sponsor meetings I'm going to, where I'm gonna present myself. It's basically with the information you see here at the right. We have best result, we have achieved goals, my role models, Rory, Brox and Henrik Stenson, and also this dude, Alex Noren, that I got to meet, like you see, about 10 years ago, which was very inspirational for me. So that's kind of what when I present myself, that this is what I've become, like him in the future, and this is where I've got so far, and this is where I want to go. So to recap what we talked about today, we talked about this professional's background, the interview, what I got out from it, the result from the interview, the creation of my PR campaign, and future aspirational. And in the final thought, I want to quote Victor Tantrum, that during the interview said, in general, it's all about convincing the sponsor that golf is your passion and you're serious about achieving your goals. Because when I talked to him, I expressed my concern that people never take you seriously when you tell them this is what I want to do. They always say, okay, but what's your realistic goal? What do you actually want to do? I'm like, I want to do this. What's the issue? Like, people cannot accept it. So he said, when you go on the street, when you meet people, it doesn't matter if it's on the golf course, on the theater, or whatever, you tell them in a convincing way, this is what I want to do. It's nothing serious. I mean, it's serious, but you say it in a confident way, so people will actually start to accept the feeling that this is what you want to do. That was all I had to say. Now I want to know if I have any questions. Yes?
Do you think you're going to kind of like push more after school is over to increase that PR campaign with social media, or?
Yeah, so my super advisor, that's a good question, thank you. My super advisor, Dr. Goins, told me it's important that you tell a story and be, that you are very personal. It doesn't have to be perfect, but make it professional at least, and do it a lot. So I did a post every weekday during this semester, and my plan is to do it once a week in the future. So I won't be as active because I think it's a lot of effort to always try to come up with new things to show. Yes, Danny?
I was wondering, were there any professional people or those sponsors that liked your stuff or ended up following you through the process?
So these guys that I interviewed follow me and stuff, and they are professional.
Yeah.
But consider the real professionals? No, not yet. But you never know. Honestly, it's not that important for me because I know though they are not the guy that's gonna sponsor me in the end. Because usually what I got out from this too is networking and PR is most important on a lower level in order to achieve sponsors. But then if you want the big sponsors, you better make sure to have the result as well. So you need to be really talented in order to get the big sponsors.
Okay, we got to move to Fontaine, but I did want to ask you, what did you learn most?
I learned most from talking to these guys, and it's kind of impressive. So this guy is on the European tour, but he still waited 3 years to get a sponsor because he wanted to make sure he had the result before doing something with sponsors. While other guys so Felix, he dropped out of college, and 2 weeks later he had his first sponsor. So we got a span between 2 weeks and 3 years. So it's really depending on how you want to do it. Any other questions?